The kindness you have towards other people, the compassion you have towards other people, extend some of it to yourself. Self-hate. How we fool ourselves into believing that we're not good enough for the things that we want. Today I want to talk about, or better said, I want to remind you of how lovable you are. I want to be that reminder today for you. And I don't know if you've ever experienced a newborn. These beings or these babies, they know their worth when they are born. They know perfectly how lovable they are, how perfect they are. The perfect proof of that is a newborn does not care that you didn't sleep the night before. A newborn does not care that you're exhausted. A newborn does not care that your neighbors hate noise. They are gonna scream until their needs are met because they know that they are worthy of their needs being met. And that was you, that was me, that was all of us until we were injected with a disease that has us believe that we are not good enough when we always were good enough. And we spend our lives trying to become something instead of living and enjoying our lives where we are now. And there's nothing wrong, obviously, with self-improvement. Absolutely nothing wrong. But you need to love where you are now. You're not going to hate yourself into improvement. That doesn't make any sense. I've tried that. And I believe that a lot of people are doing it consciously or unconsciously. They're trying to hate themselves into improvement. You can be angry at where you are at. That's okay. But you cannot hate yourself, hate where you are, and expect to move forward. Because energy flows where attention is. Where your attention is where the energy is gonna flow. And you can imagine if you've been beating yourself up for years about not being good enough, about how you need to fix this and that just to have this or that. You need to lose weight in order to attract the man. You need to fix your skin in order to attract the man. We're going to talk about man here because I think it's an example that a lot of us can relate to. It's such a destructive thing to think that you need to fix yourself to have what you want. There is nothing wrong, again, with self-improvement. But where you are at now, you deserve the love that you want to have. You deserve the man that you want to have, or the woman that you want to have, or the finances that you want to have, or you deserve to wear the dress that you want to wear. You don't have to become something else other than who you are now to have the things that you want. I wish I knew this. I wish I knew this before. My life would have been so much easier because the way I have tortured myself over time, trying to fix myself, fix things about myself that I thought we're not good enough, we're not perfect, we're not the way I visioned them to be. But it wasn't really about me. Was more me seeing myself through the lens or through the eyes of social media, of celebrities, of other people, basically. Not me seeing myself through my own eyes. Because this person could be tall and have an hourglass figure and have muscles and stuff. And I could like that. And I could work towards having a more muscular body. But that doesn't mean I have to hate myself where I am standing now because maybe I have an extra 5 pounds that social media tells me I shouldn't have. That doesn't make any sense. And we suffer so much because we view ourselves through the lens of other people, through the lens of media. And I know I am rambling probably, but the intention of this video is to wake you up and make you realize that you are good enough where you are now. Now, right now is when you deserve the love that you want to have. Right now, you deserve the money that you want to have. Right now, you deserve the business that you want to have. Not tomorrow, not after you've lost the weight, not after you've cured your acne, not after you've figured out how to not get angry too much. There is space for improvement and there is room for improvement, and you should always strive to learn more, become more aware of yourself and of your destructive, or let's say not constructive behaviors and improve on them, but it should not be something that stops you from living your life. It shouldn't be. And this self-hate virus that we have inside of us that has been injected in us from childhood is doing so much damage. It's creating so much sadness. So much sadness. And if you have grown up in an environment that has conditioned you to believing that certain things are out of reach, certain things you do not deserve to have because it triggered certain feelings inside of them, and you believe them, and obviously you will believe them because what you think you can have is the sum of all the impressions that you had in your childhood. When you're growing up, until 8, you're basically a sponge. And everything that happens, you take it as the truth. A child cannot say, my mother is wrong for screaming at me because. No. They might be mad and get annoyed or pissed that you're screaming at them. But in the end, they register that they're not good enough. And that's why you get to scream at them. When my daughter was very young, she was less than 6 months old. And every time I would start crying, the therapist would take my daughter away from me, not away from me. She would ask to take my daughter and carry her because she explained to me that when a child is young, everything that happens around them, they blame themselves for it. So if mom and dad are getting a divorce, it's my fault. If mom and dad are arguing, it's my fault. If mom is pissed at something that my brother did, it's my fault. If mom is crying now, even though I don't understand why she's crying, it's my fault. I have something to do with her. So you can imagine how many messed up impressions we have inside of ourselves that we're carrying that are not serving us at all. Let's get into how we can start counteracting the disease that was injected inside of us. And I think the first thing that you can do is realizing, it might take some time, it's easier said than done, but it's realizing who you are. You were born a whole, full, lovable, beautiful, amazing, smart being. Complete, perfect. And you are perfect. You are perfect. You're not a drop in the ocean. You're the entire ocean in a drop. Realize how amazing you are, how unique you are. Do you realize that no two people on earth have the same fingerprints? Do you imagine how much, I wouldn't say work because the universe can produce anything, but imagine if human beings had to produce unique fingerprints for each and every human that is born. Imagine how much work and thoughts would have to go into that. And if that is not enough to make you realize how unique you are, science now reveals to us that sperms didn't flow to the egg and the first sperm just hit the egg. And even if that were, let's assume that was the case, that would still make you unique because it's one specific sperm that made you. But no, it's not even that. Science now reveals to us that the egg emits certain vibrations. Vibrations, I'm going to use the word vibration. I don't know if that was the exact word that I read in the article, but that's the word I'm going to use. The egg emits certain vibrations that attract a specific sperm. She wants a specific sperm to fertilize her. And there are other sperms that get to the egg before that sperm, and she rejects or repels it. Do you realize how unique you are? There is no mistake. You are not born by mistake. Even if maybe your parents had thought of aborting you or something, or even tried to abort you, you still are not a mistake. You are unique and you are amazing. You were placed on this earth for a reason. There is a reason you are here. You need to realize that. And realize that voice in your mind telling you that you're not good enough, just tell it to shut because it's lying to you. Stop believing it. Everything, every negative thought, every destructive thought that you have about yourself is a lie. You're too fat for love. You don't have good enough skin to meet men. You're not smart enough to make more money. You're not smart enough to have a better job. You don't look good enough to have a better job. You don't look good enough or tall enough to become a flight hostess. all these things are lies. Because if you check your situation and you Google a little bit, you'll see someone who had the same cards as you who made something out of it, or worse cards than you. Okay, I'm not gonna take too long. I think I've taken long enough to talk about just this first point. The second thing that I would suggest that you do is listen to subliminals. And I do not recommend listening to random subliminals on the internet because you do not hear what they are saying. People could have negative, really, really negative messages on their subliminals. I've listened to a few subliminals that left me with a huge headache, although I couldn't hear anything that was being said. And I've read some people say that they've had nightmares when sleeping with certain subliminals. So I do not recommend listening to random subliminals. Follow your intuition, but what I would personally recommend is that you take your the recorder on your phone and just record your affirmations. If you have no idea how to come up with that, then listen to actual affirmations that you can hear what they are saying, because subliminals, you can hear that someone is talking, but you cannot hear what they are saying specifically. And I'm going to link a few affirmations audios that you can listen to that I find absolutely amazing. And then to make your subliminals, you would pick a few affirmations that are related to you. For example, let's say you're not confident, and you would say, I have always been confident. Not that I will be. There's no I will be, it's I am. The name is I am. The name is I am now. It's not tomorrow, not in 2 days, it's now. So let's say, for example, your affirmations are, I have always loved myself. I have always had money. I have always been smart enough. I have always had a great job. I have always been loved at my job. You would say that, and then you will say, you have always been good enough. You have always been you. And then you say, if you're a woman or a man, she or he has always been this. She has always had that. She is, he is. You have to have those three perspectives. Because when you're listening to the audio, I don't understand the science behind it, but from what I understand as a person from it is that when you're listening to the affirmation, you say I am, yes, and then you is like someone is talking to you and telling you what you are, and then someone is talking about you, telling the things, saying the things that you have. And well, it fits perfectly with how metaphysics works, because one of the easy ways to manifest something that you don't believe you can have is actually to visualize or hear someone around in your entourage telling you that you have what you want. Is actually a very good way to manifest things. Yeah, so you would make your affirmations, and then at night you'd lower the volume such that you can't hear what is being said. You could actually add some music on top of it, but to make it easy, just record it like that, and lower the volume to the point that it wouldn't disturb your sleep or anything, and then just let it play. And during the day you could listen to it with earphones and stuff. Yeah, subliminals are amazing, but you need to also, which leads to my next point, start paying attention to how you talk to yourself. And it requires some awareness and silence, because if you spend your time mindlessly scrolling on that thing we know is called TikTok or Instagram, chances are you are not paying much attention to what you're thinking. And I would recommend to meditate. Meditation is the number one thing that will help you hear your thoughts. It has nothing to do with you sitting for an hour in front of a candle or just hating yourself for sitting there for an hour. No, you don't have to meditate for an hour. You only have to meditate for 15 to 20 minutes. That's it. And you just have to sit quietly somewhere in silence where you will not be disturbed. And if it's too hard for you, if you've never done this before, you could start by doing a walking meditation and just walk in silence without music, and where you will not be, no one will speak to you. And that is also a form of meditation. And you could lie down, you don't have to sit down. It's just you getting to sitting in your own presence. We have deprived ourselves of our own presence for so long that we feel uncomfortable when we encounter ourselves. And when you sit with yourself in your own presence, there is going to be uncomfortable thoughts that start arising inside of you, and they're going to be uncomfortable, and you're going to want to move or get up, or you start remembering, oh, I have to do this, oh, there's this letter that I haven't, there's this email that I haven't replied to, there's this thing that I haven't done, and you're going to you're going to start fidgeting, or maybe your face is going to start to itch. Just realize that you're uncomfortable. The whole thing is uncomfortable. Your mind is not used to being sat down like that, and you have to dominate your mind by staying there even if it's uncomfortable. And over time, it will become easier and easier and easier. And from my personal experience, when you meditate for, I would say, at least 10 days, but better say, let's say 3 weeks, you start feeling it. You will feel the difference when you have not meditated. You will feel the difference. You become, I don't want to say addicted to it, but yeah, you become addicted to the feeling of it. And your vibration will rise, and you'll feel good. You'll feel amazing. And you're not going to want to not meditate. It's an amazing, 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 amazing tool. I think it should have been the first thing that I said. But well, yeah. The next thing that I suggest that you do, and this is a mini tip, is just stand in front of a mirror and stay in front of that mirror until you can say 3 things about yourself that you genuinely love. That you genuinely, genuinely love. I did this exercise. I don't remember where I heard it, but it's an amazing exercise. And it took me some time to be able to actually say something that I loved about myself. And but I eventually did find something that I really, really love about myself. And I wonder how I didn't think of it before, or didn't pay attention to it before. But anyways, that's just how our minds play us. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm gonna end this here. I might do another video and give more tips that have worked for me and that I've tried that work well. But for now, I just want to end this here and say that remember who you are. You are amazing. You're amazing. You're not your body. You're not your age. You're not your size. You're not your skin tone. You're not your race. You're not your nationality. You are a spirit or a soul having a physical experience. Wrap your mind around that. You're not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. You are amazing. Remember that. You are freaking amazing. Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you got some value out of this. I really hope you did. And I'll see you in the next video. My name is Petra, and this was my tangent on self-love and self-hate and the things you can do to start switching how you talk to yourself. Be nice to yourself. Be kind. Oh, one last thing. The kindness you have towards other people, the compassion you have towards other people, extend some of it to yourself. If it's too big of a change to extend that degree that you have towards people, towards yourself, just extend 5% of it towards yourself. Just 5. I think you can do it. Just 5%. That's it from me. Bye.